I just remember hearing that first sound, the cash register sound, and saying, this is going to be the beginning of something really cool. My name is Joe Kim, and I run a store called POW Campaign, which stands for Peace and Love Campaign. For my full-time job, I'm actually a graphic design teacher at a private Catholic high school. And then POW Campaign is a creative side hustle that I hope to continue to grow into a full-time job. I think right now is a really interesting, opportune time because anybody with a desire to design can put up something with relatively low startup cost and have their own business. So in some sense with designing and POW Campaign, and especially what Printful offers, I feel like I've already reached that dream. Like to see orders come in from different parts of the world, to actually have someone say, I want to buy something that you've made, that feeling never gets old. I originally started POW Campaign many years ago, actually in 2008. A worker at my church, she was going to a conference, and this was the time when church t-shirts for conferences were like really bad, and many people could argue it's still pretty bad. So she knew I was in art school and she asked me if I could design a t-shirt. I reluctantly said yes, and then after the conference I didn't go, but I heard that the group was just bombarded by other groups saying, where did you get that t-shirt? How can I order one? And then the students started actually wearing it to weekends and parties and over again. So it wasn't just relegated to the pajama drawer. And I knew there was a market and a need for like well-designed Christian t-shirts. I think it's really important for new owners to find a specific niche that they're a part of or that they're really passionate about to be successful within Printful or any business for that matter. Instead of doing something like streetwear, because there are many companies that are doing streetwear and really doing it well. Maybe it's streetwear for people in a city that you love. So like finding a specific tribe, a loyal tribe, and whatever it is, whether it's people who like baseball or Christian t-shirts or like cats. I think if you really target that, there's a genuine authenticity to what you're bringing to the table. It's just gonna make the process a whole lot easier. Once I stopped the store and then restarted it with Printful, I was able to not worry about inventory and shipping myself. Having come from a time when I had to store everything in my one bedroom, sleep in the living room, ship out things myself, and all the time that it took, to now only getting a nice little cha-ching sound when I get a sale. Using Shopify, allowing it to just take care of all the programming needs. That peace of mind and having everything integrated with Shopify payments, with the tax system, with the shipping, it has just allowed me to focus more on the creative side of things. There's a lot of things I wish that old Joe knew about business and about designing. This is kind of boring, but a little bit more about the legal side of things. I have this artistic mindset, so a part of me just wants to create and design and not worry about what kind of taxes I owe or what is a reseller's permit and how can that help me lower my costs with vendors. And so some of the basic legal things I wish I had known when I started. I also wish within Printful, from starting Printful 2 years ago to now, what I had known would be to utilize the resources more. I didn't really start reading the blogs until a few months ago, and it's just such a wealth of information. There have been a few obstacles that I've had to overcome. I think one is just being able to dedicate the time, concern that a store like this needs. So many people start a t-shirt store, or so many people have an idea, but that they just don't realistically have the time to put into, or they just lose interest after a few months. I think consistency is the key to the game. Another obstacle has been just the fact that it's also a one-man show. The beauty of Printful is that it's something that one person can do, but also I'm the lead designer, I'm the customer service agent, I'm the marketer, I'm the Instagram person, which has the benefits of you get to control everything and the look and feel and the user experience, but the challenge is that you're doing it all yourself. Because the t-shirt and apparel industry is so visually based, Instagram has been probably my #1 marketing tactic or sales tool. Instagram has a certain level of insights that they provide you along with Shopify. And so I've been able to use Instagram for most of my marketing in terms of even finding different groups to follow, which will expose my company to different groups. I've dabbled with Facebook ads, email marketing, but Instagram has just been the most return on investment. people gravitate towards authenticity and transparency. I always had the tendency of pretending, trying to make PAL Campaign seem like it was this big company with many people, and so I'd always use, we are excited to introduce, but when in reality it was just me. When I started transitioning to something that one person is doing, one designer who is passionate about this industry is doing, I noticed that there was a lot more authentic engagement. And it's easier to reach out to people as well. Even with social media influencers, there's a much bigger desire for other people to help you out as opposed to try and create a business transaction, which I appreciate. For anyone who has a desire or an interest to start their own store, just go for it. I think too often we get stuck in analysis paralysis and we want things to be perfect or we want to be fully ready before we start something. But if that's the case, we'll really never start.
Hey there, it's Wes from Printful. I hope you liked that video. Leave us a comment below on what video you'd like for us to make. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on that bell icon so that way you always get a notification when we have a new video.